Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, November 26. On this date in 1987, WWE held its inaugural Survivor Series pay-per-view. In the main event, Team Andre, consisting of Andre the Giant, One Man Gang, King Kong Bundy, The Natural Butch Reed, and Ravishing Rick Rude, defeated Team Hogan, consisting of Hulk Hogan, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Don Morocco, Ken Patera, and Bam Bam Bigelow in a Survivor Series elimination match. On this date in 2000, WCW held its Mayhem pay-per-view. In the main event, Scott Steiner defeated Booker T in a straitjacket steel cage match to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1987, the NWA held its Starrcade pay-per-view. In the main event, Ric Flair defeated Ron Garvin in a steel cage match to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2006, WWE held its Survivor Series pay-per-view from the First Union Center in Philadelphia. In the main event, Batista defeated King Booker in a last chance match to win the World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1995, WCW held its World War III pay-per-view. In the main event, Randy Savage won a 3-ring, 60-man over-the-top rope battle royal to win the vacant WCW World Heavyweight Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, November 26.
This is Jim the Anvil Neidhart of the Hart Foundation, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB, baby. Yeah!
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. A lot happened on November 26th in wrestling history, including WWE and NWA going at it head-to-head, Survivor Series and Starrcade back in 87, and that was kind of one of those where, Jim Crockett Promotions didn't quite work out so well for them. At least that's why over the course of the next couple of years, Starrcade ended up moving from November to the end of December. And, of course, World War III, one of the notable events for me as a teenager, the first of the 3-ring, 60-man over-the-top rope battle royals. That was an interesting concept as they had expanded. WCW had from a few pay-per-views a year to going one a month in 95. Let's go ahead and get back to the phones. We've got John chiming in. John, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly. John? Thought we had John. All right, we'll try back, John. In the meanwhile, let's go ahead and get to some various news and notes. Starting off with Mick Foley. Well, he filmed some scenes for NBC's 30 Rock show last week in New York and wrote on his Twitter page that he was filming scenes as Mankind. Interesting. And filmed his first ever kissing scene. Mankind and kissing scene. I don't know if those are two that should go together necessarily. And just in case you need a little bit more of a Foley fix, Foley, of course, will be the unofficial guest host of this Tuesday's live SmackDown. He'll be hosting it, and should be interesting to say the least. Also, some more WWE news. They're officially advertising the Slammy Awards for the December 12th show that's going to be in Norfolk, Virginia, and it's going to be a 3-hour broadcast. And it'll be the go-home show before the TLC pay-per-view. So it should be interesting. Hopefully they'll keep away from the comedy and work on selling the pay-per-view. But if Brian Gewirtz has anything to do with it, no, it's going to be more comedy. Although I'm still kind of cringing from Dennis Miller in the Slammy Awards last year. I like Dennis Miller, but he sounded like he wanted to be anywhere but there. I don't know. Maybe that's just a little bit of his personality. Hard to say. John Morrison looks like he might be on the outs. He's not advertised for any upcoming events beyond next Monday's Raw that's going to be in Columbia, South Carolina. And as Dan from Chicago pointed out on the BCB Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page, had a video of Zack Ryder's latest Long Island Iced Z webisode, and it has John Morrison being killed off in Vince McMahon style, of course getting into a white limousine and having the limousine explode, thanks to some interesting footage. a little curious. I wonder if that means that his contract's expiring, and that's going to be it for the Monday night or Friday night delight. Hard to say. Also, WWE has signed a lease for 66,000 square feet of studio space in Norwalk, Connecticut. WWE spokesperson Robert Zimmerman said the space would be used for storage and production, though it was unclear when WWE would move into the space. Perhaps that's for the new WWE network that they're trying to get released by WrestleMania this coming April. Also, MyWrestlingParty.com has announced that Billy Gunn will not be at Xbox Rumble VIP Party, as had been previously announced. Gunn had a conflict due to his scheduled appearance with Wrestle Reunion, but he will be hosting an after-Rumble party in St. Louis. I'll have to let my buddy Tim know about that, since he's from that area and is going to be going to the Rumble. Well, I don't know. He and B.A. Billy Gunn at an Irish pub. Well, stranger things have happened. Also, even though the Hulk Hogan and Linda Hogan divorce settlement was made confidential, a recent filing brought some of the details to light. Oh, those details. Linda received 40% ownership in the various companies owned by Hulk, as well as almost $7.5 million of the couple's roughly $10.5 million bank account, plus an additional $3 million in property settlement. Well, 7.5 plus 3 is 10.5. So well, no, it's property, so I guess that's a little bit different. Linda will not receive alimony as part of the settlement. What does that leave the Hulkster with, brother? Apparently close to nothing. Who knew? Also, former WWE wrestler Sean O'Hare was arrested this past Wednesday in Savannah, Georgia on a simple battery charge. His bond was set at $1,850. Man, all these former wrestlers getting into some various bits and pieces of trouble. And Dragon Gate USA and Evolve, I mentioned them a little earlier. They've announced their official merger. The two groups, both booked by Gabe Sapolsky. They've always shared talent, but will now recognize the other as existing in the same universe. So they have merged to some degree, and have a feeling that John was going to chime in on this. I guess he isn't going to try us back here. I was kind of hoping he would, but he kind of put a comment on the Facebook fan page, Smashing Pumpkins Wrestling Federation, with a question mark, referring to Billy Corgan, of course, the lead singer to Smashing Pumpkins, a great band, obviously, from the 90s, part of the alternative rock era. Yeah, he having a purchasing interest in a local wrestling organization based out there in Chicago. The long-standing relationship between rock music and professional wrestling has a new partner, Billy Corgan. The Smashing Pumpkins frontman is joined with two wrestling promoter brothers to debut the first show of Resistance Pro, an indie wrestling company that was this past Friday, last night at a downtown Chicago dance club. So something based out of the Chicago area. I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about that. Maybe that's where Dan's recovering from. That's why he didn't chime in today, Dan from Chicago. But no, not exactly the Smashing Pumpkins Wrestling Federation, John. Also, well, HBK and a new DVD. This should be interesting. Shawn Michaels. He signed a new agreement with Total Gym. That's right, to star in a workout DVD. That's right, that same thing you see in the infomercials with the legendary Chuck Norris. Well, Shawn Michaels, he's signed on. He's going to be doing a workout DVD with the Total Gym. And a little something of note for the local wrestling fans in the Philadelphia area, K&S WrestleFest, Winter Wipeout. That's going on next week, 1 week from today, Saturday, December 3rd, down at the Airport Ramada Inn down in Essington by the Philadelphia Airport. The autograph sessions, they'll be going on in the morning from 9 until 12 noon. Set for the sessions, well, in the Super Ticket, you've got Jay and Jules Strongbow, you've got Knobs and Sags from the Nasty Boys, TNA Knockouts champion Gail Kim, also a couple of classic wrestlers, Rip Rogers and Baron Von Raschke, also the Beverly Brothers, Zach Gowen, the one-legged wrestler, Dave Taylor, the One-Man Gang, of course, from the 80s, the Doctor of Style Slick, Cowboy Bob Orton, Arn Anderson, and Sergeant Slaughter all on the Super Ticket. And you've also got vendor guests. I'm surprised the Kahuna isn't already down there camping out for this one. Rowdy Roddy Piper is going to be in the house for that. Also, Nunzio, who we've had on the program here a little while back. Also remember him as Little Guido from the ECW days. J.T. Smith, one of the other FBI members. Kwee from the WCW days. Tito Santana's going to be there, as well as quite a few of the TNA knockouts. Angelina Love, Madison Rain, SoCal Val, Velvet Sky, Tara, Miss Tessmacher. Also, D'Lo Brown going to be in attendance. He got a nice ovation when he ran in to help stop the brawl between Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett at the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. The Philly crowd definitely showing its love for D'Lo Brown. I'm sure that love will be well represented next week at K&S WrestleFest Winter Wipeout. Also, Greg the Hammer Valentine going to be in the house, and also my buddies from Completely Damaged. RC is going to be down there along with Chubby Dudley, Hitman Tony Stetson, Jimmy Giannetti, and of course the Blue Meanie from ECW. Some great stuff there, and an interesting story. I don't even know where to go with it, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Former pro wrestler Andre Davis, he was a WWE prospect a little while back. He was convicted in a Hamilton, Ohio court on 14 felony charges for failing to disclose to sexual partners that he's HIV positive. Each felony carries a potential sentence of 2 to 8 years in prison. He's also accused in 5 similar cases in different counties. Not so good there for Andre Davis. And some other not so good news. Independent wrestler Bison Smith reportedly died this past Tuesday in Puerto Rico at the age of 38, according to PRWrestling.com. The initial cause of death listed in the story as heart complications, and of course that kind of blew up all over Twitter, unfortunately. Coming up next week, got some great stuff. Obviously, we're going to preview and look a little bit more into Final Resolution. Hopefully, we'll have some matches also set up for the TLC pay-per-view. We'll review what happened with the title match, the live SmackDown this coming Tuesday. I guess at that point it'll be this past Tuesday. Daniel Bryan and Mark Henry. Is that a match that you want to see for WrestleMania? Do you want to see Bryan win the title this Tuesday? Do you want to see it held off for a bigger venue such as Royal Rumble or even WrestleMania? Is that a feud that you want to see kind of stretched out to that point? And then, of course, where does John Cena lie? This is probably one of the rare mentions that I've given for him, and not exactly by choice. It's just he was kind of there. I mean, Cena set up the division of Awesome Truth at the end of Raw, and really, where does he go from here? Is he going to, re-feud with The Miz? Since, I don't know if Miz's credibility was kind of shot the last time that Miz and Cena feuded, and Cena, of course, pretty much destroyed him, as a lot of people who face Cena tend to be destroyed. So, I don't know. Hard to say. And CM Punk, well, he's the new champion. We'll see where things go with that. Of course, there's going to be a rematch this coming Monday from Survivor Series, and Punk and Alberto Del Rio, they tore the house down at Survivor Series. Expect nothing less this Raw. So a couple of great championship matches coming up this week. And where do things go with Cody Rhodes? It looks like there's a feud with Booker T brewing, of course, with the throwing the glass of water at Booker T, not liking some of the things said on commentary. I'm okay with Booker T getting back in the ring, if just for no other reason than to get him out of the commentator's booth. He isn't exactly contributing a whole lot, and I don't know what the game plan is with the commentary and why JR continues to be on the sidelines. And as you heard from the opening clip, Howard Finkel making a return. He was brought out at Survivor Series as CM Punk's personal ring announcer to kind of combat Ricardo Rodriguez with Alberto Del Rio. The Fink's another person who isn't used nearly enough, and it seems like they card him out just for WrestleMania, and in this case for Madison Square Garden. But just his announcing, it adds a dynamic to it, and you kind of knew once he was coming out that, you're not going to bring him out there without that trademark, "Your winner and new." It's something that it's I don't know, it just gives you chills going back to when you were a kid, or at least it does for me, because those are the memories that I have. Anytime that there was a new Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champions, WWE Champion, the Fink was there to announce it. Even going back to when I think the very first time I saw him was, of course, as Fincus Maximus during that awful WrestleMania 9 pay-per-view from Caesar's Palace in Vegas. I'm sure that invokes a few cringeworthy memories, and Fincus Maximus being one of them. Could probably spend a whole show on some of the horrible memories of WrestleMania 9, but we'll maybe do that getting a little bit closer to WrestleMania sometime in March. Which that'll also be around the time of the old anniversary shows. So we'll also do a little bit more speculating, see if there are some more clues as to what it is as far as it beginning. We've already gotten some thoughts of The Undertaker, Chris Jericho, even Brock Lesnar's name being thrown around. What do you think it is as we make our way to January 2nd? And will WWE deliver on it? That's been another issue that WWE's had of late, in that they haven't exactly delivered on things that they've advertised. Brodus Clay, they've been advertising his debut for close to a month now. Still no sign of him. Jonah Hill was supposed to be involved in Raw this past Monday. No sign of him either. At least give us an explanation as to why. But it makes it seem like you're totally booking on the fly. Like you totally have no clue as to what exactly is going on. It's a bit of a head scratcher. So I don't know, kind of deliver on these things. So I hope we don't get to January 2nd and there's absolutely nobody, because that would just that wouldn't go so well. Definitely wouldn't go so well. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Stay tuned. Bill Melody is up next with the Country Music Hall, playing country music the way you like it, song after song after song. He'll take you until 6. Got the full show today, Bill? Yep. Absolutely. And thanks, as always, to Bill Melody, doing a great job producing. Don't seem to give him as much credit as he deserves, as he's been doing this for quite a long time. And also thanks to the bosses over at the other job, Dominic and George, for allowing me to bring you the show today. Stay tuned. Bill Melody is up next here on 1490 WBCB, and I'll be back next week with more Pro Wrestling Weekly.
1490 WBCB, Levittown, Fairless Hills, Trenton.